Hi, good afternoon to all. This is Calvin here again. I hope that you all have a great Chinese New Year break in the last 2 days. So today's video is an update of what happened early this morning Asia time, where Meta, Facebook tumbled by negative 23% in the after hours trading during the Asia session after it dismantled revenue guidance. So this video is actually a follow-up in my weekly technical outlook video, which I publish every Monday, every week. So what's next for the Nasdaq 100? So before we start, let's take a look at the disclaimer slides first, right? One, two. Okay, sure. So why Facebook or Meta, the coin in short, has a significant influence in the Nasdaq 100? So as you all know that it tumbled by negative 23% after hours, and also early this morning, Asia time zone, Nasdaq 100 actually tumbled close to negative 2% within an hour once the Asia session kickstart at around 6 a.m. So the reason being is over here is that because Nasdaq component stock, the top 10 component stock, Facebook is actually ranked number 5. So we take into account of Apple, number 1, Microsoft, then Alphabet, which is Google. These two are similar stocks, except that they are different class A and class B. So I rank them as the same as the third. Amazon, fourth, and Facebook will be the fifth. One, two, three, four, five. So that's why it has a kind of a significant influence in terms of sentiment towards this Nasdaq 100 index. So what's interesting over here is that if you look at the past few weeks of earnings announcement among the US big tech, so Meta and Facebook is definitely one of the US big tech. Apple has reacted positively in terms of its share price after the announcement of its latest earnings. Microsoft as well, then definitely followed by Google, which is happened on on the second day of Chinese New Year, which is on pardon me, which is on a Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. So as you know, like Google also did a 20-to-1 stock split. So what's disappointing so far in terms of the US big tech will be Meta, Facebook, and as well as Netflix. So the next one we got to click a closer watch in terms of earnings announcement will be Amazon. So Amazon will actually release its Q4 earnings. Most importantly, we will see its guidance on today, which is today after the US session closed Thursday, which is i.e. Friday early morning in Singapore time. So now, most importantly over here is that to prevent any confusion. So I look at markets from a technical analysis perspective. So more importantly is that has key levels been taken out? Okay, so I know that everybody is kind of panicky during the intraday movement, but we got to have a clear mindset is that what is the trend bias, what are the key levels, and that applies to across different time zone. So this particular video, I will try to take it step by step to dissect the current situation on the Nasdaq 100. Okay, so before we start over here is that let's take a quickly go to the trend bias on a quarterly outlook. So my style of doing technical analysis, I start from the top-down approach. That means we look for a trend bias of a quarterly outlook first before we talk about shorter term. Why? Because we want to know where are the key longer term major levels that has a significant influence when the level is being hit on a shorter term horizon. That means, i.e., if a stock price come down or an index come down to hit a key long-term pivotal support and that level of support holds, we could not validate a bearish move because that is a long-term support level. All right. So like I said over here is that this is a weekly chart. So we use the weekly chart to actually decipher the trend bias on a quarterly outlook. So this is my actually quarterly outlook for Q1 2022. So take a look at the key long-term pivotal support on the Nasdaq 100, which is at 13,900. And what's so interesting over here is that last week it actually tested 13,100, but it did not have a weekly close below 13,900. And in fact, it did a reversal right above 13,900. All right. So this 13,900 is definitely a key long-term pivotal support to actually maintain a potential bullish bias for a potential fresh all-time high towards 17,590 slash 18,150 if the current all-time high swing high level 16,660 breaks above. And what's so interesting over here is that I want to take a look at how it actually ended. It actually ended with a bullish dragonfly doji. after a long-legged doji, tested 13,900, but weekly maximum drawdown has been trimmed and it closed almost unchanged at this 14,455. But most importantly, it's formed a bullish candlestick pattern called Dragonfly Doji weekly right at the test after the test of 13,900, which to me, in terms of sentiment, is still positive. Then how do I derive that there's potentially a last push up? This is actually based on a Elliott wave or fractal analysis approach that I use to give me a kind of guide to actually extrapolate future price movement based on the principle of Elliott wave and fractal analysis. So I couldn't cover Elliott wave and fractal analysis in this short video, but bear in mind over here is that based on this order, the flow of order in terms of Elliott wave and fractal analysis, we could be ending a potential circular Roman big wave 5. Okay, the Roman big wave 4 ended in March 2020, which is the pandemic low. So taking into account of the pandemic low of 2020, if I were to project a wave 5 target from the high, the current all-time high, project it to last week low, you get a 0.382 Fibo retracement, coupled with other retracement as well, confluencing at this 17,590 slash 18,150. So this gives me to a kind of bias that we may still see a last push up for all-time high. And why do I say a last push up? Because momentum is getting very weak by this weekly bearish divergence. All right. And I also explained in my Q1 2022 quarterly outlook video other fundamental factors that actually kind of formulate my potential baseline of this last push up before the risk of a 30% to 40%, 30% to 40% corrective down move. Okay, so that being said over here is that as long as 13,900 holds, there's no weekly close below this level, we could not validate a further down move at this point in time because this is a higher level that's been defined on the weekly chart. Okay, now the most important thing now is let's go down to the shorter time frame to actually give us a view on the tactical outlook. That means we talk about multi-week outlook from here, and we also could do a multi-day outlook as well by taking things one step at a time. So now let's go to the daily chart. So daily chart, right, I highlighted on Monday is that the first resistance that we're going to watch will be at 15,540, which is actually the previous swing low area over here, turns into a pullback resistance. All right, so this level is my weekly potential resistance or my weekly potential up move target, we'll call it, as long as 13,900 holds. So right now, since the start of Monday, it has been rallied pretty well. Okay, so it has rallied pretty well, and it almost they haven't hit the 15,540. So it went to the high of 15,277 before we start to see this pullback in place after the Facebook we call it negative 23% tumble in the after hours trading. Okay, so now the next question over here is, despite this tumble over here, what are the key levels to watch in the shorter term? Okay, so we know that let's go down to the 4-hour chart. So this 4-hour chart is our use every time to actually decipher my weekly outlook trend, the trend bias. So for just have a quick recap, for this week, my weekly bias is bullish as long as 13,900 holds, a break above 14,600, which is broken, potentially up move towards 15,540, maximum 15,990. So how do I decipher these two levels again? It's actually graphical, the graphical resistance of this former swing high of 17th of Jan. And just now I share you on the daily chart will be over here, these two very clear former swing low of 6th of December and 21st of December. Now, if I would do the Fibo retracement, taking from the all-time high of 16,770 all the way down to last week low, okay, you could see that 15,540 confluence with the golden ratio of 61.8%, and the maximum resistance level 15,993, which is my maximum potential upside target for this week, is at 15,990, which confluence at 76.5 Fibo retracement. All right, so let's remove this. Okay, so now the 4-hour RSI is now still above the neutrality level and also above the pullback support of this line, which implying to us that, hey, we may start to see a potential resumption of short-term upside momentum coming into play. But before I, okay, oops, sorry, let me go here. All right. So before I would decipher this long-term movement, at least this before I decipher this short-term price movement over here that we see in this today's Asia session and last couple of days, I could share with you all is this. Number one, let us zoom into the 1 hour chart. Okay, the 1 hour chart. Okay, let's do the 1 hour chart. Okay, so this is what I told you, the short-term movement. So what I'm doing now is fractal analysis from top to bottom. Okay, so what we could see is that this is the end of bracket wave 4, corrective wave 4. So what we could see, the current rally from the low of 25th of Jan to 2nd of Feb high, it could be a minor impulsive 5 wave move. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 may have already ended yesterday. Then now what we are seeing this Asia morning is wave 4 before doing a wave 5 of one stroke, one slash, okay, which is the 15,540 weekly resistance level that I'm watching for the start of this week. So if I'll do the Fibo expansion level of that wave 3, taking from the low of 25th of Jan, oops, sorry, let me do it from expansion, project it up to the high and project to the low of 28th of January. You notice that it actually come close, very close to the 1.618 Fibo projection, which in terms of Elliott wave and fractal analysis is a typical wave 3 target. So let me label off the wave for you all to see. This is the minor impulsive wave because this is the weekly hourly chart. So this is wave 1 over here. Copy. Oops. Okay, so let me delete this to make it more clear. Wave 2. Copy. Wave 3. Okay, this is the small wave 3, minor impulsive wave 3. So now over here, right, if you could see over here is does this region here now become a pullback key support level, which was taken up 14,600. So let me remove this. Let me remove this. Let me remove this. Okay, so let me draw a line here. Okay. So taking the overlap, the close of wave 1, 15,520. Okay. Okay. So now, okay, let me draw this line here. Put everything in perspective. Okay. So this is my short-term pivot. And also, if you realize that this level, 15,520, is a key graphical pullback, former resistance turns to pullback support. And if I do the retracement from the low of that wave 2 to the potential high of that wave 3, it gives you close to 50%, 15%. So this 50% also a typical wave 4 terminal level based on the Elliott wave and the fractal analysis approach. So let's look at this. Okay, so this will be the wave 4. All right. Let me put it in black color. Oops, why it's not picking up? Okay, black color. Done. Small size. Okay. So what we are seeing now is a progression towards small 5 of bracket 1 of one slash. Pardon me, of one slash. So this is a 5 wave impulsive wave structure that has yet to end at this moment in time. So let's take it one step down. So we have 50% over here, which is 14,520. So as long as 14,520 holds, as long as this level holds, okay, it may end somewhere around here at this graphical. It may also end at 38.2%, which is this level here, which is right exactly at this lower, which is 14,733. But I cannot because of more we call significant level at 14,520. So definitely I'm using 14,520 as a better or a significant level of key short-term pivotal support to maintain this potential bullish bias on the Nasdaq 100. And so bear in mind, if you look at the hourly chart, the hourly RSI now also has starts to turn up from a quite close to the oversold region as well. All right, so also momentum indicators on the 4 hour, see on the pardon me, on the 4 hour, if I'll go to the 4 hour again, okay, on the 4 hour, and as well as the 1 hour, is actually supporting this potential bullish bias that is still intact. All right, so now, so if this, okay, let's say for example, if this level holds at the current low that we see so far holds at 3rd of Feb low, that means this Asia session low. If I were to do a 5th wave target based on the Elliott wave approach, the start of wave 1, the end of wave 3, to the expected, let's say this is the potential end of wave 4, okay, it's 0.382 is at 15,364, which is quite close below 15,540. All right, and if you use the 61.8%, it's slightly above 15,540. So this is the range over here that we got to pay aware of, that actually confluence closely to the graphical resistance of 15,540 and the 61.8% retracement. So if we were to take it lower, let's say if this wave 4 did end here, it end over here, the maximum level, which is the 14,520 key short-term pivotal support level. Okay, you realize that it's very equivalent to the 0.618, the standard 5th wave potential target. All right. So all in all, right, I already highlighted over here from a top-down approach. Yes, despite that short fall that relatively short fall that we see on the Nasdaq 100 in today's Asia session, but it has not altered the long-term trend bias yet, and even the tactical short-term trend bias. So in the short term for today, I'll be using 14,520 as the key short-term pivotal support level. So as long as this support level holds, that means there is no hourly close below this level, we could potentially still see a further potential up move in the short term. That means we're talking about in the coming days towards 15,540. But however, if we start to see an hourly close below 14,520, then we will start to see this current week of bullish bias being negated to actually stage a retest back towards 13,900 long-term pivotal support. So that's the maximum we call it a potential down move that I could validate at this moment in time, because I could not validate further beyond 13,900, because that is my long-term pivotal support that I set for my quarterly outlook. So as long as we do not have a weekly close below 13,900, I could not validate a further significant down move on the Nasdaq 100 going forward. So with that, I hope that I explained my rationale or my basis of using a combination of graphical technical analysis together with Elliott wave and factor analysis, coupled with momentum indicators to formulate my view on the Nasdaq 100. So with that, I see you again in my next video.